Hi, girlies. Welcome to Book Please podcast. It's Alina here, and I have my girlies with me.
Hi, it's Nata.
Hi guys, it's Amanda.
Happy Thanksgiving, my girlies, and to everyone listening. So thankful for you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you have a great time with family.
And eat lots of food.
Yes.
Do you know that the number one Thanksgiving side dish is mashed potatoes?
It's my favorite.
Not my favorite.
Oh, that's my favorite. So what's your favorite?
Mac and cheese. Like, what?
Stuffing.
How could you not choose mac and cheese? Like a good.
I don't even think, is mac and cheese traditional? I mean, I never had mac and cheese at my table.
No, neither have I.
I don't have it at my table, really. I don't even know.
Because it's not traditional. Yeah, so
it's not traditional. Well, it's so traditional in like families, I feel like, that aren't mine. Like American families.
Same.
So like my Greek ass family is not making the mac and cheese, but like I am obsessed with it. And I made when like my boyfriend and I first started dating, like the first year when we had Thanksgiving together, we didn't do holidays together like when we had first met. So we did our own little Thanksgiving first, and then each went to our own families before we started combining holidays. And I was like, I'm going to be American. Like, I'm going to make a mac and cheese in the oven. It was the best thing I ever had in my life. And now I'm like, should I just make one and bring it to my family?
Why not?
I have a question. Do you guys, for me, because my family's Spanish and we want to celebrate Thanksgiving, so we have like a turkey, we have a pork. Like, do you guys do something similar? Like, you bring your own food for Thanksgiving too, not just the traditional like cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, spinach. Like, you do other things?
With my family, it's like we'll have turkey because it's the American way, but we have like roasted lamb from a spick, a roasted pig. Like, it's so like untraditional American. So it's a bunch of random food, honestly.
We have like our Greek stuff too. Like there's always like spinach pies or spanakopita, as we call it, and cheese pies and all that kind of stuff. Like we have the Greek stuff as well. So yeah, it's just, I think every culture kind of brings their own things to the table.
Yeah.
For sure.
We hope everyone has a great time.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, how soon is it to put Christmas decorations up? Like the day after Thanksgiving? Because I absolutely love your tree. Hot topic, because Amanda is not crazy about it, but it's a big, white, fluffy tree. And it's cute.
See, okay. I don't know what got into me this year, but I normally wait. I think the standard is you put up your Christmas decor after Thanksgiving. Like once Thanksgiving is over, boom, Christmas.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know what it was. Like November 1st, I was like Halloween down, Christmas up. I'm in like, you can barely tell like based off of where my camera's aiming at, but like I'm in a winter wonderland. I'm fully decorated in my apartment. And even though Amanda doesn't like my white tree, I love it.
It's cute. It's cute. I think I don't decorate at all, but if I was going to decorate, I think I would do like the traditional green and be so basic, but I'm not creative like you, so that's just me.
You know what it is? I have like everything, like my white fluffy rug and my white fur pillows, and like it's like that light whites and creams vibe, and I feel like it just goes so well with the vibe. It's like my girly apartment.
So you.
But yes, but when I go home, like I also know that like when I go home to my parents, like the big Christmas like that we have at the house, like it's the big green tree and all of that. But, you know, the white is the snow, like that's what it represents.
I'm curious, our listeners, do you guys have a white tree? Let us know. I'm curious. If
or
it's
a pink tree, because I freaking love those.
Pink is
I love decorating for the holidays, but I feel like my style changes. Like sometimes I like a white tree, sometimes I like the traditional green with the red and the gold. I guess it just depends on the year because it always changes.
On your mood, yeah.
No, I agree. I love like the tradition. I guess because I feel like my family does it up. So that's where we're celebrating Christmas. And I know we're going to have the big green tree. Like I'm just making it like more chic in my little apartment. And I think that's also why I did it early, because I always go home for the holidays, so I never get to enjoy my decor. So now I'm like, okay, like I'll put it up early because I'm going to go home I'm going to be in New Jersey for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be in New Jersey for Christmas. So it's like, I want to see my stuff up. Every time I put it up, it's like I leave. So at least I feel like I'm like really enjoying it. And it's like, makes my day when I come in and I see it all nice.
Yeah.
So does Cash have a little sock?
Cash does have a stocking. Yes, he does. Yes, for sure.
So cute. Auntie Mandy's going to be filling that up.
Yes. The best. I know. I'm sure Nata can't wait.
Yeah, I can never add anything to this conversation. Like, ever.
It's okay.
I would torture my dog with an outfit too if I had one.
I'm honestly shocked, Amanda, that by now you don't have a dog or some kind of animal. It just, you love animals and it just doesn't make sense.
I know, it's just, you guys know, I've been traveling, so I just can't do the responsibility, you know, like, and I'm such an, like, I would love, my dog would be my child, just like Alina's, and I can't leave it, like, with, like, for holidays, to travel, do anything, so I just, you know, it's for the better for now.
It is like having a kid. And it's like, even if you go and do a day trip or something, you need to have like a dog sitter, you need somebody to come walk it or something. So it is a responsibility. And right now, if you're like living your life and you don't want to be tied down to anything, it's not the best option. But I feel like you fill the void because you watch all of your friends' dogs, including mine. Exactly. So you're like definitely getting it out of your system, and then you give it back and you're like, okay, now I'm going to go away to wherever.
I'm like, don't call me for a week, please.
Exactly. But speaking of Thanksgiving, just to get back on track, you guys, I thought it would be cute if we all expressed what we're thankful for this year.
I love that.
Ooh, this year. I can go first. I would say this year is kind of like a fresh new start for me, especially for Thanksgiving. I haven't spent Thanksgiving with my family in years. I had a partner that I would go to his family a lot. So I think of it as like, there's people that, not to be sad, but like, you know, lose people every year and then you go into the holidays super sad. So I want to make an effort to make sure I go home more often, especially holidays. So I'm definitely thankful that I get to do that for Christmas and Thanksgiving this year. I'm thankful to be healthy. I feel like these are things you guys are probably going to say too, but thankful to be healthy, you know, blessing, staying healthy. Thankful for you guys. Thank you to our listeners, our followers. Absolutely love you guys. We couldn't be here without you, and we love doing this. And it's just a plus that, you know, you guys are able to join us on our book club journey.
For sure.
Well said. I'm gonna echo everything that you said.
Yeah.
For me specifically, like this last month and a half, I have to say, like, my relationship with my mom and my brother, and specifically my little brother, because you know how it is with like younger siblings, and especially him and I are 5 years apart. So it's like our fights sometimes are just the worst, but I feel like we got so much closer this last month and a half. And it just, I know it sounds like so silly, like, oh, okay, like your brother, but that bond and that relationship means so much to me. The fact that like we'll be watching a show on the couch till like 1 a.m. and talking, and like he'll be picking on me and I'll be picking on him. Like those are moments that we'll be thinking about and cherishing like our entire lives. And I feel like life goes so fast, and it's all
you
texting.
Make me want to go text my brother.
No, it's all just like texting, like, hey, what's up? We're like going through the motions, where this just felt like, oh my God, like I love spending time with you and I love you so much.
They're your friend too. I know I have a younger brother also, and it's so funny how we used to like at points like want to kill each other, but we're so close. And I feel like as we've gotten older too, as adults, like we have such a deep relationship where we can just say anything to each other and be there no matter what. It's such a unique bond having a sibling. And like there were times where I can't even tell you, like my brother would like, we would just be annoyed at each other for nothing. Like even I would be sleeping in bed. It's the middle of the night and he'll be pissed at me. He'll come in, turn on my lights and leave. just to piss me off enough so I have to get up, get out of bed, turn off the light, like just
that's
those
like
things.
normal little brother behavior.
I was like, sir, yes. Oh, there were more, but we won't get into it. But I'll say I'm definitely so thankful for my brother. I love you, Tommy. I'm thankful for my family, my mom. My grandma is here this year from Australia, which makes it so much more special. I haven't seen her in years, so I'm just so grateful to have her. I think this past year I've been so especially thankful for my health, for my loved ones, like you said, Amanda, being here and being okay. Just like even the little things, like being able to have a roof above my head. I always think about like, even when I'm at the gym, like, which thankful for that, for fitness, such an outlet for me. But I always think about like, even when I'm dying at the gym or something, I'm like, what a blessing it is to be able to move this way, to be able to take care of my body, to be able to push myself and achieve my goals. Like just to have that is such a privilege that we take for granted every day. And I have seen, like, even in my apartment complex, like we have had some tragedies, and we have someone who lives right next to me and he has ALS and he's like bound to a chair and can barely move. And it's like just these little things that people would wish for. Like I put that in my mind when I'm like, I don't want to run the extra mile or do the other thing. And it really helps like propel me forward and make sure that I'm like really appreciating what I do have. I have to shout out my son, Cash, who is my whole world. Baby. And this podcast, like, is just, I love it so much. And so thankful for everyone who's been here with us and supporting us. And I can't wait to see what we bring into the next year with all of you.
I want to say one thing that you mentioned, and I just want to say, if you people, I mean, yes, I think everyone should be healthy and work out, but stop making the gym so packed from January to March just because it's your New Year's resolution. And then like those, when I go to the gym those months, I'm like, oh, here we go. The people that want to start. I'm like, I hope you keep your fitness journey. I'm here for it, but I got to wait for a treadmill.
Here's the thing. I applaud you and I cheer you on. If you are coming to the gym and you're starting your journey, go for it, not knocking you. But don't sit on your damn phone on the machine I'm trying to use. I will make you uncomfortable. I will sit over you. I will look at you. I'll be like, let's go, Bobby. Like, get up, get off Instagram. Like, we got to go.
I have a tip for that. So whenever, I feel like I used to be so nice and just like, oh, let me go do something else. But now, like, instead of just like standing and making you awkward, I'll be like, hey, like, oh, I see you've been on it for a while. Is this your last set?
I'll do that too. I'll play dumb and I'll be like, hey, I'm just wondering, should I do something else first or are you almost done? And they're like, oh no, I'm done. I'm like, yeah, you were done 30 minutes ago and we know that.
Wait, I want to mention one more thing. Michael. One more thing about the gym. So I saw this thing on Instagram or TikTok where a girl was like, oh, if you find someone like attractive at the gym, the way to like, you know, approach them without being weird is you see them on a machine and be like, hey, like, I want to use that after you. Can you like text me when you're done? And then you give them your number, and usually they're like, "Hey, sure," and then you have their number, and
that's tip for you very direct.
Exactly.
Just to get back to what we were talking about with Thanksgiving, we wanted to share our appreciation for all of you. We are so thankful to have you and for everyone who's been supporting us, and to kind of give back a little bit. We wanted to give away a $50 Amazon gift card. Hopefully it'll help you a little bit this holiday season. And the way you can enter is by liking this post and going to our YouTube and commenting and subscribing. So comment on our YouTube video of this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like this post on Instagram, and you'll be entered. You have until November 29th. So until next week's episode drops, you can enter. And if you want to tag friends, that's extra submissions, go for it. And we wish you all luck. And we are just so very thankful for all of our Book Please listeners.
Good luck, everyone. Thank you for always loving and supporting us. And happy Thanksgiving.
So just to jump into this week's reading, we started The Fourth Wing. Amanda's holding it up. What a gorgeous book.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Can we just talk about how stunning by Rebecca Yarros? I can't. It is amazing. Oh, I can't. I'm not even going there yet.
Gorgeous.
Even when that came in the mail, I was like swooning. What a gorgeous book. We read chapters 1 through 8. And I have to say, like, just getting that book, I didn't even touch it on my Kindle because I was like, it would be a sin because it was just so stunning. I had to read the book from the book. Like I had to just have the experience because it was just too beautiful. Like
for me, I'm still listening to it. I'm doing audio, but I bought the book because it's beautiful, honestly. Like
gorgeous.
And once we're done with like our podcast, I think I would even reread it. I mean, based on what I'm liking so far, but it's so beautiful to add to your collection, especially if you end up loving the book. Like,
no, it is. It's such a beautiful book. And I love the colors.
I know. It looks just so beautiful on my coffee table. Okay, enough of this. Just as beautiful as I think the book was, I am like so beyond excited about this read. It's like I love reading and we've been reading books that I've enjoyed, but like it's like almost like renewed my like passion for reading. I'm like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this book. It's a new genre for us here on the pod, like fantasy. For me, it's like, okay, it's like that next Twilight that I'm like, I don't want to put this down. I want to read the next one and the next one. And I am so into it. And I hear some people say, you know, it gets good in the middle or whatever it is. I'm like, no. As soon as I started, Homegirl was hooked.
I agree. I feel the same exact way, but I love this kind of genre. Like I love anything fantasy, sci-fi. So this is like right up my alley. And so far from the beginning, I'm falling in love with characters. I'm hating characters. I'm like, I'm guessing what's going to happen. So it was hard for me to stop reading.
No, I agree. I haven't read a fantasy book in a hot minute. And I'm like, what was they doing? Where was I? Who am I?
Well, this book came out this year, so it's not.
I loved Harry Potter. So that was the last time that I read a fantasy book, which seems like it was a lot different than this, though.
Are you liking it, Nata?
It's kind of hard to follow a little bit for me.
In the fact that it's like a fantasy, popular.
So it was a little hard for me to follow because I felt like it was a lot of different characters, but just the quadrants, it's not realistic. Obviously, it's fantasy. So being able to keep up with the names and the schools and the quadrants and what they have to do to survive, that part was like hard for me to follow because I've only ever read Harry Potter. And even though that was fantasy, it made almost like sense. Like it was more realistic in a weird way.
So walking through a brick wall to get to a school is more realistic.
Hey, look, everyone's going to have their opinions. And I think there are people too who like had a slow start with this book. We just happened to like be like just so obsessed with it from the start. I immediately was like hooked and like loved Violet, hate her mother with a flaming passion.
I love her mother.
Oh, are you serious?
Well, because she's tough. I feel like she's making her like, you know, she pushed her to do this. I think it's tough love. I don't know.
It's not love at all. Everyone is conspiring to get her. Nothing that she wants. That's like such a hot take, major hot take. I feel like literally everyone, her sister, her friends on the other side, like in every aspect, are they're all looking at her like, you should have been a scribe. That's where her passion lies. That's what her dad like bred her to be, what he was. And she was following in his footsteps. That's where her talents are. I mean, I think we know it's going to end up great for her and so special and amazing. But it was to the point where her mom was like, if you don't do this, it's either you're doing this and you make it, or you're doing this and your name is on a headstone. Like she didn't give a shit like that.
No, I think she was like a boss, bitch. You know, like, you know, I would want, if it's like you're a doctor, right? You want your kids to be doctors, you know, it's like I don't know, but I feel like because I know she's going to be amazing at this and I know her power is going to be freaking awesome. I know she's definitely going to bond at least with a dragon. That's going to be super powerful. So I feel like this was her calling and she just needed that push. And Xaden will help her get there.
I don't think she's pushing her in a healthy way, but we can get off the mom, but not that. What are your thoughts about the mom?
I don't like the mom, especially since her brother died. It's like, you lost one child already. What are you trying to bury another child? You know that she has like this illness that makes it harder for her to heal too. I mean, she's vulnerable all around and you're just throwing her to the wolves. That's the way I see it. So I don't like the mom.
Those are valid points. Yeah.
I think that makes sense. And I think to your point, Amanda, like her mom is a boss bitch. Her name carries weight in that aspect. Mm-hmm. Yes. Like she's a respectable character. She did a lot for Navarre. I think, a lot of people know who she is and they respect her. They're scared of her. They're whatever it is. Like she has made a name for herself. And in that aspect, yes. And I think she'll soften as time.
She'll be proud of her.
Yes. As time goes on. And I think that she'll respect her daughter and the journey that she goes on, and her mom and her daughter will respect her mom more later. But I think at this point, I was very frustrated with her mom. However, when she does start her journey, so she's on the journey to be a writer instead of being a scribe, where you can feel her pull every time she sees someone and like her brain is going that she wants to be that way. She immediately makes a few friends, Rhiannon and Dylan, and then Dylan immediately doesn't make it.
Oh, yeah.
It broke me. It broke me so much. And you can just see everyone was like, he was one of them. He was like, I'm so excited. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. And she's like, I just don't feel this way. But she immediately gave Rhiannon her boot for grip. Like, I was like, wow, that is insane. Like, for your life, I don't know if I could do that.
She has a heart, that's for sure. And I think that'll help her. But I also think she has all the resources. Like, super sad to hear about her brother. I agree with that. Like, I feel like we're going to lose a lot of characters. I'm probably going to cry, especially if it's any of my favorites. Obviously, I know Xaden's going to be around for a bit. He's my favorite so far.
Okay. I 100% think, like, obviously we know Dane is going to be the one she's supposed to be with. My prediction is Xaden is the one she goes. It'll be a love triangle situation. Yeah. And you know how Dane's power is to see things by like touching temples, and you can like see recent memories in someone's life. I predict that something's going to happen between Violet and Xaden, and then Dane is going to see it through her memories. That's what I think is going to happen.
Can we talk about their relationship really quick? My thing too, like I love Dane. I'm like, in the beginning, I'm like, they need to be together. Like he cares about her. He wants, but then like she has no choice but to do this. And the fact that he's like, we could still get to the other side. We could, just, I feel like he's not good for her right now because she doesn't need to hear that. She needs to be more tough. And Xaden actually pushed her to like defend herself against Jack Barlow, which she needed. She needs to be feared, not like look so vulnerable. And Dane makes her vulnerable. And I love him and I think he's sweet, but he's not for her. Like she needs someone that's going to like be realistic with her. Like, you're doing this. I want you to live, defend yourself, So I already like Xaden better for her because of that. Natha, what are your thoughts too?
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I just think maybe Dane is going to try to stop it in a way, since he's going to be able to see the thoughts. And I don't know what's going to happen with that, but definitely going to be a love triangle. And the bad boy is going to win, of course.
I think with Dane too, Amanda, to your point, I think it was just that I even think he was shocked and was like, oh, what a bitch about her mother. I don't think he realized the gravity of like how she literally has no choice and her mom will drag her out of there if she tries to become a scribe. So I think he was just trying to prevent anything from happening to her. Even her sister, who, let's talk about Mira. She's amazing. Like, she tried to prepare her. She fought for her mother for her. And I just love the way like she was there for her sister with the uniform, with standing with her right before she entered, right, just being there for her all around. That's the way that you would imagine, her mom to be.
Even the older brother, I feel like, even though like the way he looked out for Mira when she was going in, and now he's looking out for Violet going in, since she has his journal, like the love for that family is just so phenomenal, which is why I don't hate the mother, because she raised strong ass kids. Like, regardless of saying, her kids are great.
When Violet got a hold of Brennan's journal, I was so emotional. And
I cried when that one line.
In a way, it's like he's still guiding her through this. And she's taking knowledge from that and literally learning from it and surviving.
And helping, yeah. He's like her guardian, like literally a guardian angel.
Amanda, what line made you cry?
The one where he said like to Mira, like, like she needed to like be tough because Violet's watching. So like, like she needed to like stay strong, get through everything, because Violet will be looking up to her, even though he didn't die at this point. So he was like, even though I'm obviously the best one in the family, but you need to be an idol to her. So that part.
Yeah, he was writing that to Mira when his sister Mira was going through it, and like Violet reading it is probably just like, oh, it's a heavy one for sure. Let's talk about a prediction I have. Let me know what you think. I definitely think, I know Violet is going to have an insane power, but I'm telling you right now, she is going to bond with that black dragon for sure. I really think that's who she'll bond with. And this dragon has a lot of history. It's like the deadliest one. It won't bond with anybody, hasn't been seen in 5 years. And the rider who previously was bonded with this dragon, and that's why the dragon hasn't bonded since, was just basically untouchable. But we come to learn that the rider died trying to resurrect somebody who had fallen, who had died, and he burnt out because of trying to use his powers to revive someone who had died. We come to learn the person who died was Brennan, that the rider was trying to revive. I just think it's too connected. And I totally think, and it's like Jack Barlow, who we hate. We can get into Jack too, but he was claiming the black dragon. I'm like, that's Violet's dragon.
Foreshadowing, yeah. And I bet you she kills Jack while she gets that dragon.
She's going to be the most powerful bitch.
Yeah, to your point, Alina, especially since they said that the dragon's not attracting to anybody, it's going to be a no-brainer, obviously. It's going to be her.
For sure.
So, in the ending for chapter 8, she's having her like challenge, like her one-on-one battle. And then Xaden ends up like volunteering. So I'm already in my head like there's no way she's going to beat him, especially because she's been getting people sick too in the battles. So how do you guys think that's going to turn out? Obviously he's not going to kill her there, but do you think he's going to let her win so she has her streak, or do you think he's going to like put her in her place about it? I think he knows that all the people she went up against, she's been like getting sick. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so for sure, she's using her knowledge. This is the thing. That's her power. Like, she is so smart. And I think they even said that too about the dragon, that the dragon was very smart and cunning, and it just only furthers the point. But she is so smart, and this is what she's using, her knowledge of all different things, to move her along. So everyone's going to lean on their own strengths. And, that is what she's doing. What ended up happening was she poisoned somebody that, a little too soon, and they couldn't even make it to the fight. He volunteers. And I'm thinking like, I think he's going to let her be okay. Like, even if he wins for show, he'll have the opportunity. Maybe like people will look at it and be like, damn, he didn't finish her off. And they'll be waiting for it and questioning. But I think it's also going to be like a little hot and heavy. Like, they're going to be touching. Like, ugh.
I feel like they're the same in the way that he doesn't blame her for what her mother did, and I think she doesn't blame him for what his parents did. So I think they're aligned on that, and that's why she's not dead from anyone else that is part of his group with the rebellions. But I think he like puts up this like I'm like tough act, but with her, I thought he was gonna have a mind reading one. I was like, this is gonna be some highlight shit. He's gonna read minds, and he reads her mind, and that's why he doesn't want to hurt her. But when we find out it's not that, I'm like, okay. I'm like, thank you, Rebecca, for not being basic.
So you guys think that he's gonna let her pass? You don't think he's gonna teach her a lesson and kind of, because he does have a little bit of an ego too, so.
I think that what he's doing is, even by when he says, when he has that like separatist meeting and he's like, everyone's like, oh, what's our plan to kill Violet? He's like, I'll handle her, because I think he's like in a way like protecting her. Like, that's his way of just kind of like still letting her live. So I just think like him saying that is just like putting off the like nobody touch her, like leave her alone kind of thing in his own way. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna obviously do anything that's gonna really impair her. And maybe people will notice and be like, whoa, like why did he do that? But I think he'll do his best to conceal it.
I agree. She'll have some bruises and maybe something broken. I think no one's gonna have to heal her after this fight.
I think she'll be okay. I think she's gonna walk away. But we'll see.
I'm so excited. I think it's been so great so far. I think even for someone, I mean, not that I know this isn't like your typical book that you would read, but and I agree. There is a lot of layers. There's times where I'm like, which person was that? What's that person's name? I know like brothers, so it takes a while to adjust. But I think the storyline is great. The characters are likable or hateable, which is nice. So I'm super excited. I'm already excited for the next book, and I haven't even finished this one.
Yes, I agree. I think it's like there obviously are details I'm not understanding yet, or like I'm not remembering all the little people like all that's around it. But the main core story, yes. Like even when I started like the first page, I read it a few times because it was like just jumped in. And I was like, whoa, let me go back and read this again and process. But you didn't really need to. Like as you went on, you kind of picked it up and you got the like main picture of things.
So just a question, if you didn't have to stop reading, how long do you think the book would take you to read in total? Since you like it so much.
For me, I'm listening to it, so I'm like my speed's a little high on it. I didn't want to stop, but I would say by a week, and that's just because I'm doing things in between. But anytime I finish a chapter, it's hard for me to like stop knowing. Like for when I finished chapter 8, I was like, okay, I want to know what happens with this fight. I'm like, but no, I have to like wait for the so. And it's really hard for me to. I have to stay off TikTok. I have to stay off Instagram because everyone's reading this, and I feel like I already know. I feel like I already know she's always going to bond with the dragon. So like I'm trying to like not have people tell me, and I feel like I need to hurry up and read it so I don't know things.
I know I'm very scared of that too. I'm obsessed with it. For me, it's like the thing that I'm like, okay, it needs to be a movie. Like, I can't wait. Let's go. I actually saw that it's going to be a TV series, which I think that's great. It's going to be a show on Amazon. Yes.
Really?
But yes. And they're now getting rights for Iron Flame too, which is the second book in the series. But I don't know how I feel about it as a TV series. I think that's great, but I would rather it be a movie, to be honest.
I feel like it ruins all books, honestly. Like I'm excited, but then like casting always kills it for me. Just like Twilight.
No, I think they're gonna kill it. Like think about Harry Potter. Like
Harry Potter. Oh yes, Harry Potter casting phenomenal.
And I think they already know it's gonna be that.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. I don't want to be disappointed, but I feel like when you have such high expectations, it's kind of hard to meet all of that.
Yeah. Not that.
So the reason I asked was because there's this girl in my book club and we're reading this book and she finished it in 48 hours. And I'm like, you finished 500 plus pages in 48 hours. Shook.
I get it. If I had the time.
How many pages are in the book?
498.
Yeah, the font is tiny too, so that's really like
that's super telling. Honestly, it must be amazing. And honestly, I'm so excited.
I am so hyped to keep going. I am so in love with this freaking book.
I don't know, but Prime, make sure Zayden's super hot.
I know. Please God, please God. Not that will you be watching this with us?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be casted super well though. Like, no, I'm sure the casting is going to be on point just based on like the popularity of the book. Like everyone's obsessing over this book.
I need to gauge, like for me, it's like 6 out of 5 right now. Like I just know where it's going for me. If you had to at this point, not to give it like what you think it's going to be for you, where are you at this point as far as a rating out of 5?
2 out of 5.
Okay, but here's my question. Is that because this isn't your typical genre or because it's hard to follow? Because that's a huge difference.
Because it's hard to follow. Honestly, it's super hard to follow. For me, at least. Like, I don't know. It really is.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
And because it's not my typical genre.
That's fine. I respect that. Because look, there are times where I'm all thrillered out and you know, that's your cup of tea. And that makes sense. So you guys, 2 out of 3 of us cannot wait to keep reading this book. For next week, read along with us chapters 9 to 16. We cannot wait to dive in. So very excited. Let us know if you're team Alina, Amanda, or team Nata so far. We'd love to hear how you feel about it. Don't forget about our Thanksgiving giveaway. Don't forget to tell everyone that you love white Christmas trees.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Amanda, do you want to plug in our socials?
Of course, like I just said, don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We hope you are enjoying everything. But if you are, also please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Book Please Podcast. And we're also on Twitter /X at Book Please Pod. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.